So we have to cut out the section of like a concept section, and right now I have to adjust the settings to make sure it's going to be cut on a laser cutter. And overall it's just a section of showing the ceiling, how the ceiling is going to work with the structure itself. Having the airflow that go in, and the hot air go on top, the cold air go on the bottom. Make the atmosphere a little more comfortable. Just make sure that the ceiling thing. Alright, so we went out to get some stuff for the section that we're doing, and so we got the glue here. We're getting the canvas to put our building section on, and David's over here checking out the markers. You see anything good, bro?
Yeah, I'm trying to pick a good marker brand to buy. Might get this one.
And alright, I don't know where Declan is. He's somewhere in the store, but catch up with you guys later. Alright, so we came back and the canvas, and David's gluing the pieces together to show the section of the build, like the little section concept we had. So this is what's the ceiling going to be dropped down to, and this is the first elements. So as you can see, it's just like going to be adapted to that after. He's just gluing down the base. And we showed the differences in depth of people. So one person's in front, another one's in the middle, and the other one's all the way in the back. And you know, the idea behind it was we wanted to have in the public areas a drop-down ceiling, which is like, it's called a folded plate system, and so it would look like this. So it changes the elevation on certain points and adds like character to the ceiling. So it's not just you know, not just like a drop ceiling like as we've had in the lab. It's more, it gives it more character and more feel to the building, because we're gonna have artwork on the side to add like the bohemian style. We're gonna have artwork and like different collages and different things. So yeah, we using the glue. David's got this. He's just putting it together. Now he's gotta put this on. Recommend just using the bottom one and building it off. So he's gonna do one piece at a time.
26. Maybe I want to take pictures for something else.
So we'll just see him glue this one piece on, and then I'll just go quick to the time lapse to see the finished product, and then we'll take a picture of the finished product and post it. Nice placement, and this glue does not leave any residue, which is pretty good. Since it's on a canvas, it's like matte black finish. Looks nice. Nice. So, yeah, I guess. Here's the next one. Yeah, just get to it. presented our next phase. I believe it was phase 4, and it was all about the structure and actually the placement of what's possibly most likely going to go inside. Instead of just the concept, now it's more focused on the realism of what's going to happen, and talking about materials to spaces to the structure of the building, on what's the facade of the building, interior, and like inside the walls itself. And so we began with we kind of just focused on the inside a little bit more in the beginning, as some of us focused on the exterior, and so it was kind of mixed. It was like Declan was doing the structure while I was trying to figure out what would look good on the inside, and then David, we were all just talking about different features of the building that we liked. So we got like this roof, this green vertical garden. So it's like on here you can see it. It's like on the wall. It has green area, and how the layers they go with themselves, and the type of connection we would have for the foundation, the flooring features, what elements are on the floor, and how this section cut, section cut of the building has like an airflow going here from hot air and keeping it cool for everyone inside. And coming to here, having like various types of facade designs, from fracture, offset, using the same words we use to reflect, offset, and fracture. And you can kind of see the fracture we had in here. So we kind of like this a little bit more after it came out in the model. So we'll probably stick with this and mix it in with one of these, or mix a couple of designs and implement it to that. And we did a sun study too, how the sun would orientate. And I don't know if you want to say something, David.
Yeah, so we kind of just had like our atmosphere images, kind of just showing like how we want the space to feel in different ways, like relating to the structure, relating to like shade and shadow, and just kind of abstracting things and getting a feel for what we have. Like this could be like, for example, like a lobby area possibly, and here again you can see this vertical garden, like vegetation wall that we're trying to incorporate. Kind of start to see here how we want to have like vines and vegetation all over the outside of the building, so it kind of brings it, connects it to nature. And also that also doubles as like a shading system with vines covering the windows, since we have a very hot climate. And then down here we kind of have just like a bunch of iterations of different facade ideas. And so then you can kind of see the ideas that we were kind of generating here, kind of translate to our model here. And then down here again, more iterations of interior spaces, like what same space but just with different materials on it. How different you can make a space look just by what it's finished with. Just generating some different ideas with the vegetation walls and graffiti and our folded plate system, just trying to tie everything back together to the site and to our project.
Yeah, so you can see the various materials and whatnot. In the roof, we thought of this is called a flat plate system. And like the public areas, which would be like the lobby and dining room and store, and then more in the enclosed areas, the private areas, your own room in the hostel would be like a drop cloud roof, or drop cloud ceiling, I believe it's called, right? And to add more feel, more character to your own room. And yeah, that's how the presentation went. Declan's on the camera for this one. Forgot to mention that. And that's all. Alright, so we're back in 2017. We're working on the next part of the phase called the schematic phase, and we're taking what we got the ideas of our bubble diagrams from the lower level, mid level, top level, like from all the levels of the building, and we're now putting them into their specific locations that we believe they qualify for, either be just the rooms, kitchen, dining room, and everything separated where they should be, what we as a group think it should be. And now we're putting it into a specific shape. The shape we're sticking with the shape that we got for the concept phase. So we're gonna do a little bit of iterations off that, and then we're gonna move to actually creating it on Revit and then we're gonna, you know, further on the 3D process in the computer, 3D imagery, and have all this stuff for it, and we're gonna make a new model in the end. But you're gonna see this process, how it goes on, and yeah, that's it. All right, so we're here at Penn College, the Architecture Lab 2017, the best one on campus, and we're moving along with the next phase. Me, Declan, and David, as a group, we're working on the hostel in Barcelona, Spain, and the Gothic quarters of Spain. And you know, we're progressing. Now we're on the schematic design phase, and we're keeping it going. And you can see on the last video, I believe it would be right there as a little pop-up, but you can see us progressing through it. And now you see that we're getting in the next processes, the schematic phase of the project. So you're seeing that we almost came up with the final form of the building. It's coming together, and yeah, to the floor plans, we got the floor plans coming out to how we wanted them, what are our likings, and how we're formatting them. Me, Declan, David still working on his group, and we're here. We came up with these ideas. These are some of the beginning phases ideas that we came up with the last phase, but we're put them more into the shape of our building. So this is how we're going to come up with the building, as you can see in the 3D image of the building, how some of the pieces are like protruded inside, some of them stick out a little bit more, so it gives them more depth, more feel of the offset and the fracture of them. Also having the reflectivity, because some repeat over each and every other floor. And so we took the calculations of the square feet, and then we're deciding the rooms from the lower level, mid-level, top level, or like not the top level, but like everything in between, so all the rooms. And then in the center, 1 or 2 stories will have laundry and like the internet areas. And so yeah, I was here. We have quite a bit due. This phase, schematic phase part 2 technically, and presentation's Monday, today's Sunday, but you can see here we're kind of moving along with it, and we're getting the stuff done. And I'm given the task to make the model of it, or create the CAD file of the model. So I'm going to take all this and make it simpler. So I'll delete what's on the inside, and so I'll delete what's on the inside, put it on sheets in the Revit, and then convert it into an AutoCAD file, and then open it up in AutoCAD, create a scale 1 inch equals 30 to match the site model, and then as we progress with it, it should come out pretty decent. It should come out pretty good. I'm hoping for the best, but yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. And yeah, thanks. All right, so we just finished the next. We just finished presenting the schematic design phase, and this was our project that we had to do. It was the next phase from the past video, and so we formed out how we wanted the building, how we wanted the structure to have its own little like panels, so it could be like within the glass you can see it, and have that shading aspect to it. So the first thing we did, we ran through the floor plans, we got all that settled, and then we did the model, like step by step. And then one of us did, you know, we were doing like sections off, so Declan started doing the sections and the site plan, while I started doing the sustainable features and detailing the facade. Also with other things with the circulation, and then with the detail of it. And yeah, you can see how it has the columns there, and how we added vegetations from vegetation roofs, the green roofs, and using the vines as shading, and using the greenery and the vegetation as like a water saving fixture, you know, all that other stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so come closer, Declan. You can see on one of our atmosphere studies, Declan really did this with the structure of the building, how it's like on the side, you know, you can see the different planes and all that. But if you come here, you can see this guy. It's alright. And that adds character to the atmosphere. What?